think, somehow.
Have a little vodka instead.
No, I don't drink vodka every day. Besides, it's too warm. Nanny, how long have we known each other?
How long is it? Goodness knows. Let me see. You first came here into our part of the world. When was it? Sonya's mother was still alive. 2 winters later she died. That was 11 years ago, perhaps longer.
Have I changed a great deal since then?
Oh yes. You were young then, and good looking. You've gotten older, and your looks aren't what they used to be. And you drink now.
Yes, 10 years have made another man. How did it happen? It's because I'm overworked, Nanny. I'm on my feet from morning till night. I know no peace. And at night I shake under the covers for fear I'll be dragged out to visit some sick person. Ever since I've known you, I haven't had a single carefree day. How could I help growing old? Yes, life itself is stupid and boring and filthy. It tears you apart, this life. Everyone in this neighborhood is an eccentric, and after you live with them for 2 or 3 years, you turn into one yourself. It's inevitable. Look at these ridiculous whiskers I've grown, silly whiskers. Yes, Nanny, I have become an eccentric. I've grown dumber. I'm not a complete idiot yet, thank God, but my feelings have become deadened. I want nothing, I need nothing, I love no one, except yourself, of course. When I was a boy, I had a nanny just like you.
Have a little something to eat, won't you?
No. During the 3rd week of Lent, an epidemic of eruptive typhoid broke out in Melatskoye, and I was called there. The peasants were all stretched side by side in their huts, and the calves and pigs were running about the floor among the sick. How filthy it was, with such smoke, beyond words. I slaved among those people all day. Nothing to eat, nothing to drink, never sat down. And at night, when I got home, there was still no rest for me. A switchman was carried in from the railroad. I laid him on the operating table, and he died in my arms under the chloroform. And then, just when I don't need them, my feelings come rushing back. And then my conscience chimes in and starts telling me I had murdered that man. Well, I sat down, I closed my eyes, and I start thinking, what will they think of us in 100, 200 years from now? Those who come after us, for whom we are breaking the path. Will they have anything good to say about us? No. Nanny, they won't even remember us.
People might forget, but God remembers.
Thank you for that. That was well done. Yes. Yes. Have you had a good nap?
Yes, very. Since the professor and his wife have come, our daily lives seem to have run off the rails. I sleep days, and I'm up nights. I drink wine. I eat all sorts of strange delicacies for breakfast and dinner. It isn't healthy. Sonya and I used to work together. Never had an idle moment. But now she works alone, and I just eat and drink and sleep. Something's wrong.
Such bedlam in the house. The professor gets up at noon. The samovars kept boiling all morning, and everything has to wait for him. Before they came, we used to have dinner at 1 o'clock. Now, dinner's at 7 at night. And all night long, he sits up, writing and reading, and then at 2 o'clock he rings the bell. What is it, dear heart? He wants tea. When come the servants, like the Senator, such as
Are they here for long?
About 100 years. The professors decided to make this his home.
Just look here, for instance. The Senator's been on the table for 2 hours and they're all out for a walk.
Never mind, don't get excited, here they come. Beautiful. Beautiful! What glorious views.
They're marvelous, Your Excellency.
Tomorrow we shall go to the tree nursery, shall we, Papa? Would you like that?
Ladies and gentlemen, tea is served.
Oh, won't you please send my tea into the library? I have some work to finish.
I am sure you will love the tree nursery, Papa.
There goes our learned scholar. On a hot, sultry day like today, wearing an overcoat, galoshes and gloves, and carrying an umbrella.
But pays to take precautions, I suppose.
But isn't she beautiful? So lovely. Never in my life have I seen such a beautiful woman.
You know, Nanny, when I walk through the fields, or in the shade of the garden, or look at this table here, my heart swells with great happiness. The weather's enchanting, the birds are singing, we're all living together in peace and harmony. What more could you want? Oh, thank you very, very much.
Her eyes. Such a glorious woman.
Oh, come, tell us something new, Vanya.
What would you like to hear?
Anything but this.
No, there is nothing else, nothing new. I'm the same as ever. Well, perhaps worse, for I've become lazy. I do nothing except grumble like an old crackpot. My mother, the old crow, is still chattering on about the emancipation of women, with one eye in her grave and the other in her learned books, in which she is forever searching for the dawn of a new life.
And the professor?
Oh, the professor, as usual, sits in his library from morning till night. Straining his mind, he wrinkles his brow. Right, with no respite or hope of praise in the future. But nobody reads a word that he writes. Oh, the poor paper. He overwrites his memoirs. Now, there's a fascinating subject for a book. The life of a retired professor. As stale as a piece of old bread. Racked with gout, migraines, rheumatism, his liver bursting with jealousy and envy, that dried old turd. Living on the estate of his first wife, although he hates it because he's too cheap to live in town. He is everlastingly whining about his ill luck, when in fact he is unbelievably lucky. That old cockroach lives without a care, with his hands in somebody else's pockets. You cannot believe how lucky he is. The son, a common deacon, has attained the professor's chair and is called Your Excellency, because his father-in-law, my father, was a senator. And it's all meaningless, by the way, because now here's the really important part. This man has been writing about art for 25 years, doesn't know the very first thing about it. For 25 years, he has been reading and writing about things long known to clever men and uninteresting to stupid ones. In other words, 25 years of spilling his seed on the hard, dry ground. And in all that time, he has been so self-important, so conceited. Now, he's been pensioned off. Not a living soul remembers him. He's a complete unknown. For 25 years, he was simply keeping some more worthy man out of a job. But now look at him. He stalks across the earth like a demigod.
Sounds to me like you envy him.
Of course I do. Well, look at the success he's had with women. Don Juan himself was not more lucky. His first wife, my sister, beautiful, gentle, as pure as the clear blue heaven above. Noble, sweet-hearted, with more admirers than he had students. And she loved him as only creatures of angelic purity can. His mother-in-law, my mother, adores him to this day, and he fills her with a sort of worshipful awe. His second wife, as you see, a great beauty. She married him in his old age. She's given him her youth, her beauty, her freedom, her life. For what? Why?
Is she faithful to him?
Yes, unfortunately.
Why unfortunately?
Well, because such loyalty is false and unnatural from beginning to end. Yeah, I know, it all sounds very well, but there's no logic
she hates, but for her to stifle her youth and her intense longing within her, isn't that immoral too? No. Listen, Vanya. Anyone who would betray their husband or their wife is faithless and would betray his country too.
You can turn off the waterworks waffles.
Now let me speak, Vanya. My wife ran away with her lover the day after our wedding because of my unsightly appearance. Still, I would not break my vows to her. I'm true to her to this day. I love her still, and I help her all I can. I've given over much of my estate to educate the children she had with her lover. I've lost my happiness, but I've kept my pride. And her beauty is gone, her youth is fled as it must, and her lover's dead. What has she left to her?
Nanny, some peasants have come to the kitchen door. Go and see what they want. I'll pour the tea.
I've come to examine your husband. You wrote me that he is very ill. Rheumatism and something else, but he seems as lively as a cricket.
He had a fit of anxiety last night and complained of pains in his legs, but he seems all right today.
And I hurried here 20 miles at a breakneck gallop. Never mind. It isn't the first time. Now that I'm here, however, I'm going to stay until tomorrow, so at least I can get some sleep. Quantum satis.
That's wonderful. You spend the night with us so seldom. Have you had your dinner?
No.
Good. Then you will have it with us. We dine at 7 now. Oh, this tea is cold.
Oh, yes, the samovar has gone out.
Never mind, Ivan Ivanovich, we'll drink our tea cold then.
Begging pardon, ma'am? My name is not Ivan Ivanovich, but Ilya Ilyich Telyagin, or Waffles as they sometimes call me because of the face. I'm Sonya's godfather, and His Excellency, your husband, knows me very well. And you might be good enough to notice that I live with you on this estate and dine with you every night.
Ilya Ilyich is a great help to us. He is our right hand. Come, Godfather, let me pour you some more tea.
Mon Dieu.
What is it, Grandmother?
I forgot to tell your father. I must be losing my memory. I received a letter today from Professor Alexander in Kharkov. He sent me a new pamphlet.
Is it interesting?
Yes, but a little odd. He refutes the very theories he championed 7 years ago. It is appalling.
There's nothing appalling about it, Mama. Drink your tea.
Am I not allowed to speak?
Well, we've already heard what you have to say over and over again for the last 50 years. You and your pamphlets. Enough already.
Seems you never care to listen to what I have to say. Pardon me, Jean, but you have changed so this last year that I hardly know you. You used to be a man of strong convictions with an illuminating personality.
Oh yes, I had an illuminating personality, which illuminated no one. I had an illuminating personality. You couldn't say anything more cruel. I'm 50 years old. Until last year, I tried, like you, to cloud my vision with these scholarly illusions, so we wouldn't see how our life really was. We thought that was the right way to live. And now, if only you knew. I'd lie awake at night, heartsick and angry, to see how stupidly I wasted my time, when I could have had everything. Now all I have left of me is my old age.
Uncle Vanya, that's depressing.
You speak as if your former convictions were to blame somehow. But the weakness lies in you. You've forgotten that a conviction in itself is nothing. It's what you do with your convictions that counts.
Oh, what you do? Well, not everyone can be a literary perpetual motion machine like your precious professor.
And what do you mean by that?
Grandmother, Uncle Vanya, I beg you.
I'm silent. I apologize. I am silent.
What a fine day. Not too hot.
Oh, a fine day if you feel like hanging yourself.
Nanny, what do those men want?
Oh, the same old thing. Asking to farm their empty lot again. Chit, 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 chit.
And why do you call the chickens?
The speckled hen has disappeared with her chicks. I'm afraid the crows have got her.
Nocy tylko zolotая, przydorożna, najpierw you're a cocktail
It's the doctor here. Please, Dr. Astrov, I've been sent for you.
Where do you come from?
From the factory.
How nice. Well, I suppose I shall have to go whether I wish to or not. Damn, this is annoying.
Yes, it is too bad, really. You must come back for dinner after the factory.
No, it'll be too late. Where have I put my... Look here, now get me a glass of vodka, will you? Where have I left my hat? Thank you. There's a man in one of Ostrovsky's plays with ridiculous whiskers and a tiny brain. That's me. Well, let me bid you goodbye, though, ladies and gentlemen. I should be really delighted if you came to see me someday. With Sonya, of course. My estate is small, but if you're interested in such things, I'd like to show you an experimental garden and nursery, the like of which you won't find within 1,000 miles of here. My estate is surrounded by a forest preserve. The forester is really old and always ailing, so I oversee almost all of the work myself.
I've always heard that you were very fond of the woods. Of course, you can do a great deal of good by helping to preserve them, but doesn't that interfere with your true calling? I mean, you are a doctor.
Only God knows our true calling.
You find it interesting?
There.
Oh, extremely.
You are still young, not over 36 or 7, I should say. Can't be as interesting as all that. A forest is a forest, after all. I should think you would find them monotonous.
No, the work is thrilling. Mikhail Lvovich watches over the old woods and he plants new trees every year. And already he's won medals for his work. He sees to it that the old woods are not uprooted. Well, if you'll listen to what he can tell you, you'll agree with it entirely. He says that forests enhance the beauty of the land, and they teach man to understand beauty and to attune his mind to higher thoughts and views. Forests often a harsh climate, and in countries where the climate is milder, less energy is wasted battling the elements, so the people are kinder and gentler. Inhabitants of these countries are more naturally curious. Their language is more refined, their movements are more graceful. Their philosophies aren't so gloomy. Art and science flourish among them, and their treatment of women is marked by charming kindliness.
Bravo! Bravo! It's all very pretty, but I'm afraid it's not very convincing. So, my friend, you'll forgive me, but in spite of your work, you must allow me to go on burning firewood in my stoves and building my barns out of planks.
You can burn peat in your stoves and build your barns of stone. Oh, I don't object, of course, to cutting wood when you have to, but why destroy the forests? The woods of Russia are trembling under the blows of the axe. Millions of trees have perished. The homes of the wild animals and the birds have been laid waste. The rivers are shrinking, and many beautiful landscapes are gone forever. And why? Because men are too lazy and short-sighted to stoop and pick their fuel from the ground. Am I not right? Who but a senseless barbarian could burn so much beauty in his stove or destroy what he cannot create himself? Mankind has reason and creative energy so that he may increase his possessions. Until now, though, he hasn't created but destroyed. The forests are disappearing, the rivers are drying up, the game is being exterminated, the climate is spoiled, and the earth grows poorer and uglier every day. I see that ironic look in your eye. You do not take any of this seriously. Perhaps it is all nonsense. But when I cross one of my peasants' forests that I saved from the axe, or hear the rustling of the young trees that I planted with my own hands, I feel as if I had had some small share in improving the climate. And if mankind is happy 1,000 years from now, perhaps I shall have been partly responsible in my small way for their happiness. When I plant a young birch tree and see it budding and swaying in the wind, my heart swells with pride, and however. I must be off. That's probably all nonsense anyhow. If you don't mind, I'll take my leave of you now.
When will you come to see us again?
I don't know.
Will it be another whole month?
You've been behaving very badly again, Vanya. What sense was there in teasing your mother and talking about perpetual motion machines? And again at breakfast you quarreled with Alexander. How petty.
I only did it because I hate him.
You hate Alexander without reason. He's just like the rest of us and no worse than you.
If only you could see your face, your gestures, as though living was such an effort for you. You are so beautifully idle.
Yes. Yes, so idle and so bored. All of you abuse my husband and you look on me with pity. You think a poor woman, she's married to an old man. Oh, how well I understand your pity. It says Astrov said just now. You see how recklessly men destroy the forest so that soon there will be no trees left? Women like you recklessly destroy people the same way, so that soon there will be no faithfulness left on the earth, or purity, or self-sacrifice. You pity neither the birds, nor the woods, nor women, nor one another.
I don't care much for your philosophy.
You know, that doctor has a sensitive, weird face, an interesting face. Sonya is in love with him, that's obvious. But I can understand it. You know, he has been here 3 times since I have come, and each time I get shy and I can't say a word to him. He thinks that I am disagreeable. Do you know, Vanya, why you and I are such friends? Because we are both such boring, tiresome people. Boring. Don't look at me like that. I don't like it.
How can I look at you any other way when I love you? You're my joy, my life, my youth. Now, I know my chances of your returning my love are infinitely small. That there are no chances at all. I love you. Just let me look at you. Hear your voice. Just let me tell you of my love. Don't drive me away. I have no other happiness.
This is agony.
Необъятная дорога море знає, сіку тело поспівається, замисловость наша смело сподівається, все раз будем, все будем, необъятная дорога молодежная, ай крайне сильнее, отаем дружнее, тесно великий сукатый, тесно море широкатый, необъятная дорога молодежная. Хотя раз молодая, невозможная, тесно небо и сукатый, тесно море широкатый, необъятная дорога молодежная. Ай крайне сильнее, отаем дружнее, все раз будем, все равно будем, необъятная дорога молодежная. Ой, радость молодая, невозможная, тесно небо и сукатый, тесно море широкатый, необъятная дорога różneje, podkajem różneje, zaraz budem, nie obiada droga młoda, komentarz, rozpoczywaється, co nasze sno rozpowiwaється, jak mężczyzn zatrapi tylko more szeroka, nie obiada droga młoda, a krajkiem cudem, podkajem różneje, teraz budem, selo budem, nie obiada droga młoda.
Is that you, Sonya?
It's me.
Oh, it's you, Yelena. This pain is unbearable.
Here, your shawl has slipped. Let me shut the window, Alexander.
No! Leave it open, I'm suffocating. Just now, I dreamed that my right leg belonged to somebody else. And it hurt so that I awoke. I don't believe this is gout, it's more like rheumatism. What time is it?
20 after 12.
Yeah, I wish you'd look for that volume by Chekhov in the library tomorrow. I think we have it.
What did you say?
Look for Chekhov tomorrow morning. We used to have him, I remember. Why do I find it so hard to breathe?
You're worn out. This is the second night you've been unable to sleep.
They say, again, you've got angina from gout. I believe I'm getting it too. Damn this terrible, cursed old age. Ever since I've grown old, I've been disgusting to myself. And I'm sure disgusting to all of you too.
You speak as if we were to blame for your age.
Well, I disgust you most of all. Of course I do. I'm not stupid. I can understand. You're young, healthy, and beautiful, and long for life, and here you are stuck with an old corpse. You think I don't understand? It's ridiculous that I've lived this long. Well, just you wait. You'll be rid of me soon enough. My life can't drag on much longer.
You're exhausting me. For God's sake, please be quiet.
It seems everybody's being exhausted, thanks to me. Everybody's wretched, only I have it easy. Oh, yes, of course.
Quiet, you're tormenting me.
Yes, I torment everyone.
This is unendurable. What do you want from me?
Nothing.
Then, please be quiet.
Funny. Everybody listens to Vanya and that old idiot mother of his, Marya Vasilyevna. The moment I open my mouth, you all begin to feel abused. Can't even bear the sound of my voice. Well, suppose I am hateful. Suppose I'm a selfish tyrant. Haven't I the right to be at my age? Haven't I deserved it? Haven't I the right, I ask you, to be respected considering how old I am?
No one is disputing your rights. The wind is rising. I must shut the window. We shall have rain in a moment. Your rights have never been questioned by anybody.
I have devoted my entire life to scholarship. I'm accustomed to my library and the lecture hall and the regard and admiration of my colleagues. And now it's all gone. I sit here in this graveyard surrounded by stupid people saying stupid things. But I'm still alive. I long for success and fame and the stir of the world, and here I am, an exile. No, it's terrible. Spend every moment grieving for a past that's lost, to witness the success of others, and to sit here with nothing to do but fear death. I can't stand it. I don't have the strength. And you won't even forgive me for being old.
Well, wait. Just be patient. At this rate, in 4 or 5 years, I'll be old myself.
Papa, you sent for Dr. Astrov and now you refuse to see him. It's not right. You got him out here in the middle of the night for nothing.
Oh, what do I care about your Astrov? He understands medicine about as well as I understand astronomy.
You can't expect the entire medical faculty to come out here and cure your gout.
I refuse to talk to that fool.
Fine. Do as you please. I don't care.
What time is it?
25 after 12.
Sonya, hand me my drops from the table.
Here you are.
No, not that one. Can't you understand? We're going to ask you to do a single thing.
Please stop asking a child. Some people may like it, but spare me because I don't care for it. Besides, I haven't the time. We're cutting the hay tomorrow and I must get up early.
Thunderstorms approaching. There it is. Yelena, send me off to bed. I've come to relieve you.
Oh, no. Don't leave with me alone with him. No, he'll talk me to death.
You've got to get some rest. Thanks to you, they haven't slept in 2 nights.
Oh, well, then let them go to bed. But you go too. Thank you. I beg you to go. For the sake of our former friendship, don't argue. We'll talk later.
Our former friendship.
Dear, don't leave me alone with him. You'll kill me with all his bladder.
Oh, this is becoming absurd.
Nanny, it's late. You should be in bed.
I haven't cleared away the tea things. I can't go to bed.
Everyone's awake. Everyone's worn out. Except for me. I'm the only one around here who has it easy. Oh, yeah.
What's the matter, little father? Does it hurt? My legs ache too. Oh, so badly. You've had this illness for such a long time. I can remember Sonya's mother used to sit up with you too and wear herself out for you. She loved you dearly. Old people like to be remembered and pitied as much as young ones, but somehow nobody cares about them. Come to bed, little father. Let me give you some linden tea and find you something to warm your legs. I'll say a little prayer for you.
Let's go, Marita.
Sonya's mother used to wear herself out with sorrow and weeping. My legs ache too. Oh, so badly. You were too little to remember then, Sonya. Come, little
I am absolutely exhausted by him. I can hardly stand.
He's exhausted you, and I've exhausted myself. I haven't slept for 3 nights.
There's something wrong in this house. Your mother hates everything except her pamphlets and my husband. And he won't trust me, and he fears you. And Sonya is angry too. She's angry with her father and with me. She hasn't spoken to me in 2 weeks. And you hate my husband, and you openly sneer at your mother. I have reached the limit of my endurance. At least 20 times today, I've nearly burst into tears. There's just something wrong in this house.
Enough philosophy already.
Vanya, you are an educated, intelligent man. Surely you understand that the world will not be destroyed by wars and disasters, but by hate and malice and all this spiteful gossiping. Your duty is to make peace and not to growl at everything.
first and help me to make peace with myself, my darling.
Let go. Go away!
The rain will soon be over, and all nature will awake refreshed. Only I won't be refreshed by the storm. Day and night I'm haunted by the thought that I've thrown my life away. My past doesn't count because I've frittered it away on trifles. My present is so pointless it's grotesque. What shall I do with my life and my love? What's to become of them? My feelings for you, my dear, are hopeless. Like a ray of light lost in a dark chasm, it's killing me.
When you tell me that you love me, I just go numb. I don't know how to answer you. Forgive me, I have nothing more to say to you. Please
If only you
be
knew how it
nice.
tortures me to see another soul dying in this house, right here beside me. You! What are you waiting for? That damned philosophy of yours is standing in your way. Oh, take a chance. Come on, take it.
Oh, Petrovich! You're drunk.
Perhaps. Very likely.
Where's the doctor?
Oh, he's in there. He's going to spend the night. Perhaps I am drunk. A little. But anything is possible.
Why did you get drunk tonight?
Because it feels just a little bit like being alive. Don't lecture me, Yelena.
You never used to drink. You never used to talk so much. Just go to bed. I'm tired of you.
My darling, my precious.
Leave me alone, really. This has become too disagreeable.
He's gone. It was 10 years ago when I first met her. Here, in my poor sister's home. She was 17 and I was 40. Oh, why didn't I fall in love with her then and propose to her? It would have been so easy. But if I had, she would be my wife now. Yes, tonight's thunderstorm would have wakened us both, but I would have held her in my arms and whispered, "Don't be afraid, I'm here." Oh, bewitching dream. So sweet that I smile when I think of it. Oh, my head is reeling. Oh. How did I get so old? How won't she understand me? I despise that rhetoric of hers, her indolent morality, that absurd talk about the destruction of the world. I've been deceived. For years I worshipped that miserable, gout-ridden nonentity. Sonya and I worked this estate dry for his sake. We sold our butter and curds and wheat like misers, never keeping a bit for ourselves so we could scrape together enough rubles to send to him. I was proud of him and his work. I thought his words and writing were inspired. And now that he's retired, what is the grand total of his life? A blank. Nobody reads a page of his work, and his fame is burst like a soap bubble. Oh, I've been deceived. I'm a fool. And I see it all now.
Play.
But everyone is asleep.
Oh, play. You're alone. No ladies around? Oh. The heart walks away, the soul walks away, the master has nowhere his body to lay. Oh, the thunderstorm woke me.
Ah, it's a regular
Downpour. Giants.
Only the devil knows.
I thought I heard Yelena's voice.
She was here a moment ago.
God, what a beautiful woman.
Oh.
Medicine, is it? From Moscow? From Kharkov? Oh, here's one from Minsk. He's bothering every city in Russia with his gout. Really ill. Or simply pretending.
He's really ill.
What's the matter with you tonight? You seem gloomy. Is it because you feel sorry for the professor?
I'll leave you alone.
Or are you in love with the professor's wife?
She is my friend.
Already?
What do you mean by already?
A man only becomes friends with a woman after the following sequence of events. Acquaintances first, lovers second, and finally just friends.
That is a vulgar philosophy.
Is it? Yes. I must admit I am growing vulgar. But then, you see, I'm drunk. Usually, I drink like this only once a month. But when I do, my pluck and boldness know no bounds. I feel capable of anything. I perform the most intricate operations and succeed magnificently. The most brilliant plans evolve in my brain. I'm no longer a poor simpleton of a doctor, but mankind's greatest benefactor. I work out my own system of philosophy, and all the rest of you seem to crawl at my feet like so many little insects or microbes. Play.
Listen to reason, my friend. Everyone is asleep.
Play! Kalinka! Oh, good. Play! I need a drink. Oh, come. We still have some brandy left in your room. And then, as soon as morning comes, we'll go back to my place. Let's go. I have this one assistant, and he says sometimes, let's go. Instead of let's go.
Oh.
Complete scoundrel. So, what do you say? Let's go. Oh, I beg your pardon. I'm not decent.
Uncle Vanya, you and the doctor have been drinking again. What a fine pair you are. It's all very well for him, he's accustomed to it. But why follow his example? At your age, it isn't pretty.
No, age doesn't have anything to do with it. When you don't have a real life, you make do with illusions. It's better than nothing.
Illusions? All our hay is cut and rotting in these daily rains, and here you are wasting your time with illusions. You're neglecting the farm completely. I've done all the work myself, and I'm worn out. Uncle, you're crying.
Me? No, nonsense. There are no tears in my eyes. You looked at me then, just as your dear departed mother used to. Oh, my sister, my dearest sister, where are you now? If only you knew, if only you knew.
If only she knew what, Uncle?
Oh, it's so painful, it's awful. Never mind. It's nothing. I must go.
like if it doesn't bother you, but please, don't let my uncle do it. It's very bad for him.
All right, all right. We won't drink anymore. I'm going home at once. Let's settle it. By the time the horses are harnessed, it'll be gone.
No, it's raining. You should wait until morning.
No, the storm's over. This is only the final gust. Besides, I must go. And please, don't ask me to come here and examine your father anymore. I tell him he has gout, and he insists it's rheumatism. I tell him to lie down, and he sits up. Today, he actually refused to see me.
He has been spoiled. Won't you have a bite to eat?
Yes, please, I think I will.
I like to eat at night. I think there's something here in the sideboard. They say that he's had a great many conquests in his life and that the women have turned his head. Or so they tell me. Oh, here is some cheese.
I haven't eaten a thing all day. All I've done is drink. Your father is a difficult man. May I? We're alone. May we speak frankly? You know, I couldn't bear to live in this house for even a month. This atmosphere choked me. There's your father with his books and his gout, your uncle with his depression, your grandmother, finally your stepmother.
What about her?
Everything about a person should be beautiful. Looks, dress, soul, mind. Your stepmother, of course, is beautiful to gaze upon, but don't you see? She does nothing but sleep and eat and walk and charm us. She doesn't do anything. Everything is done for her. Am I not right? And an idle existence can never be pure. Still, maybe I'm judging her too harshly. I'm discontented like your Uncle Vanya, and both of us have turned into a couple of old farts.
Aren't you happy with life?
Oh, I love life, but I hate and despise to fritter it away in a little Russian village. As for me personally, God, there is absolutely no redeeming feature. Have you noticed, when you walk through a dense forest at night, if there's just a little light flickering ahead of you, how you forget how tired you are, or how dark it is, or the sharp branches that lash your face. You know how hard I work, like no one else in the country. Life just knocks me around. At times I suffer unbearably, and I see no light ahead of me. I have no hope. I don't love anybody. I haven't for a long time.
You love no one.
No one. But I have a soft spot for your old nanny, for old time's sake. Peasants are all alike, stupid and filthy. The intelligentsia are worse. They're exhausting. All our friends are petty and shallow. They see no farther than their own noses. Frankly, they're dull. The ones who have brains are consumed with a mania for self-analysis. They whine, they hate, they find fault everywhere. They crawl up behind you and sneer and say, "That fellow is crazy. That man is a bag of wind." And if they can't find a label to stick on me, they say, "He's very strange. He's not quite right." I like the forest. Tut, tut, tut. Very strange. I don't eat meat. My. He's not quite right, is he? A simple, honest relationship between people or with nature is impossible. Not quite right.
Please, don't drink anymore.
Why not?
It's so unworthy of you. You are well bred, your voice is tender. You are more than anyone I know refined. So why do you want to be like the common people who drink and play cards? Don't do it, I beg you. You're always saying that people never create anything, that they only destroy whatever nature has given them. So why do you insist on destroying yourself? Please don't.
All right, I won't drink anymore.
Promise.
Oh, I give you my word of honor.
Thank you.
Basta. I've sobered up. You see, I'm perfectly sober again and shall remain so until the end of my days. Now, what was I saying? Ah, yes. It's too late for me. My race is over. I'm tired, old, and vulgar, and my feelings are dead. I don't think I could have a relationship with another human being. I love no one, and I never shall. Beauty alone still has the power to affect me. It moves me deeply. Yelena Andreevna could turn my head in a day if she cared to. But, well, that's not love. That's not even affection.
What's the matter?
Nothing. During Lent, one of my patients died on the operating table. And
It's time to forget that now. Tell me, Mikhail Lvovich, if I had a friend or a younger sister and, well, you knew that she loved you, what would you do?
I don't know. I don't suppose I'd do anything. I'd make her understand that I cannot return her love, that I'm incapable of it. In any case, I must be going. It's past time. Goodbye, dear girl. At this rate, we shall stay here talking till morning. I'll go out through the sitting room, or I'm afraid your uncle will hold me up.
He didn't say anything. He didn't tell me a thing. Yet I feel so happy. Why? I told him that he was well bred and that his voice was tender and that he was refined. It all came out wrong. But I can still feel his voice throbbing in the air, caressing me. But when I spoke about the younger sister, he didn't understand. Why aren't I beautiful? I know I'm not pretty, I know. Last Sunday, coming out of church, I overheard a woman say, "She's so gentle, so good-hearted. What a pity she's so plain." So plain.
Storm has passed. We need fresh air. Where's the doctor?
Gone?
Sonya,
Yes?
how long are you going to stay mad at me? We've done each other no harm. But why are we enemies? Enough.
I've wanted to. I'm tired of being angry all the time.
Good, I'm so glad.
Has Papa gone to bed?
No, he's still sitting up in the drawing room. I'm so pleased. It's been weeks that we haven't been speaking. God only knows why. Who's left the sideboard open?
The doctor has just had some supper.
Here's some wine. Let's drink a toast. To us?
Yes, let's.
Out of one glass. I mean, we are friends, aren't we? too. You're angry with me because you think I married your father for his money. I swear to you, I married him for love. I was fascinated by his fame and his learning. I know now that it wasn't real love, but it seemed real love at the time. But ever since our wedding, your sharp, suspicious eyes have been accusing me.
Let's forget the past.
Yes, but you mustn't look at people that way. It isn't right. You must learn to trust people or life becomes impossible.
Tell me, truthfully, as a friend, are you happy?
Truthfully? No.
I knew it. One more question. Do you wish that your husband were young?
Yes, of course I do. What a child you are. Go on, ask me something else.
All right. Do you like the doctor?
Yes, very much indeed.
I must look ridiculous to you, do I? He's only just left and I can still hear his voice in the air. I can see his face in the darkened window. I have to tell you everything. Only I can't tell you here. I'm too embarrassed. Oh, come to my room and let me tell you there. Oh, I seem silly to you, don't I? Tell me something about him.
Well, what should I say?
He's so smart. He can do everything. He can heal the sick and plant forests.
Well, it isn't about trees and medicine, my dear. Believe me, that man is a genius. Do you know what that means? That means that he's a fearless, free thinker who sees things on a grand scale. He plants a tree, and his mind swings 1,000 years into the future, and he sees the future happiness of the human race. People like that are rare. They must be loved. And what does it matter if he does drink and is vulgar at times? I mean, this is Russia, after all. Just think of the life he leads. Cut off from the world by frost and storm and trackless, muddy roads, and he's surrounded by coarse people who are crushed by poverty and disease. His life is one endless struggle with never a day's respite. How can a man live like that for 40 years and stay sober? From the bottom of my heart, I hope you'll be happy. You deserve it. But as for me, I'm a worthless, trivial woman. You know, to be perfectly honest with you, Sonya, I really am very, very unhappy. There really is no happiness for me anywhere. None. There's just... Why are you laughing?
Because I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
Oh. I must play the piano. Yes, I want to play something right now.
Oh, do play something. I couldn't possibly go to sleep now.
Yes, I will, but your father is still awake and music annoys him when he's ill. But if he says I may, then I will play a little something. Why don't you go and ask him something?
All right.
I've been without music for such a long time. But now I shall sit and play and cry like an idiot.
Come here, boy. Get under. That's it. Go.
Yeah,
Go
is that you out there?
Yes.
Don't make so much noise. The master's ill.
I'm off right away. Come here, boy. Come on back. Come on. Come on.
express the wish that we all gather in the drawing room at 1 o'clock. It is now 1:45. He has a message to convey to the world.
It's probably just a question of business.
Oh, he doesn't have any business. All he does is write rubbish and complain.
Uncle.
Sorry. Sorry. Look at her, will you? Roaming up and down out of sheer idleness. Charming. Don't you think? Charming.
I should think it would bore you to strum on the same note from morning till night. Ugh, this tedium is killing me. What shall I do?
There's plenty to do if you want to do it.
Such as?
Well, you could help run this estate, you could look after the children, you could help the sick. Isn't that enough? Before you and Father came, Uncle Vanya and I used to take our own grain to market.
I have no idea about such matters. What's worse, I don't care about them. Only in sentimental novels do women go out and teach and look after sick peasants.
I don't understand how you can live here and not do something. Well, if you try, you'll grow to like it. Don't be melancholy, dearest. Your boredom and idleness are contagious. Look at Uncle Vanya. All he does now is follow you around like a shadow. And I have stopped my work to come here and speak with you. And the doctor, he rarely used to come here more than once a month, and he's here every day now, and he's given up his forestry and his medicine. You must be a witch.
Don't be depressed. Come, my darling, my sweetheart, be sensible. You have a siren's blood in your veins. Why don't you behave like one? For once in your life, give free rein to your true nature. Fall heels over head in love with some passing sailor. Dive headlong into the whirlpool and leave the Herr Professor and the rest of us waving helplessly from the shore.
This is just cruel. Leave me alone.
Oh, there. I apologize. Forgive me. Peace.
You try the patience of a saint.
A peace offering. I'll bring you a bouquet of roses I cut for you this morning. Autumn roses. Glorious, melancholy roses.
Autumn roses, glorious, melancholy roses.
September already. How are we going to live through the long winter here? Where's the doctor?
He's in Uncle Vanya's room. I'm glad Uncle Vanya has left. There's something I'd like to talk to you about.
About what?
About what?
There. Come now, Sonya.
I'm ugly.
Why, you have beautiful hair.
Say that. Whenever a woman is ugly, they always say she has beautiful hair or beautiful eyes. For 6 years now, I have loved him. I have loved him more than I loved my own mother. All I can hear is the sound of his voice. I feel his hands in mine. I watch the door all the time, thinking I hear the sound of his footsteps. And now, don't you see? I keep coming to you so that I have someone to talk to about him. He's here every day now, and he doesn't even notice my presence. It hurts so much. I have absolutely no hope, none. Oh, God, give me strength. I lie awake all night praying. I have no shame anymore. I go up to pay any attention to me.
He is a strange man. Listen, Sonya, will you permit me to speak to him? I'll be very discreet. I'll drop some hints. It's time you knew for sure one way or another. Will you let me? Good. Good. It will be easy to tell whether or not he loves you. And don't be ashamed, darling. Don't worry. I'll be very careful. He won't have the least suspicion. We just need to know for sure whether or not it's a yes or a no, don't we? And if it's a no, then he has to stop coming here. Right? It will be easier if you don't have to see him every day. We won't waste any more time. We'll ask him now. He said he had some maps or something to show me. Why don't you go and tell him I'm ready to see him?
Will you tell me the whole truth?
Of course I will. Whatever it is, it will be easier to endure than this uncertainty. Just trust me, dearest.
Yes. Yes. I shall say that you wish to see his maps and... No. Perhaps it is better not to know. That way there is still hope.
What do you say?
Nothing.
There's nothing worse than to know someone's secret, to know there's nothing you can do to help them. He isn't in love with her, it's obvious, but why shouldn't he marry her? She isn't pretty, but he's a country doctor, and at his age she'd make him an excellent wife. She's so smart, so sweet, so good-hearted. Poor girl, I know how she feels. I mean, here she lives, in this despair and boredom with no one but these same people who do nothing but eat, drink, sleep, and talk nonsense. And then he comes around and he's so different, so handsome, so entertaining, so fascinating. It's like seeing the moon rise on a dark night. To just surrender yourself, body and soul, to such a man. I think even I'm a little in love with him. Yes, when he's gone, I'm lonely, and when he's here, I smile. Vanya says I have a siren's blood in my veins. For once in your life, give free rein to your nature. Well, maybe I should. Just fly free away from all your drowsy faces and monotonous chatter and forget that they exist at all. But I'm too afraid to. I'm too much of a coward. And my conscience won't let me. He comes here every day now, and I know why. And already I feel guilty. I should just throw myself on my knees at Sonya's feet and beg her forgiveness.
Good afternoon. You wanted to see my work.
Yes, you promised you'd show me what you've been working on. Have you time now?
Of course. Where were you?
In Petersburg,
And where were you educated?
at the conservatory there.
Well, you may not find this very interesting.
Why not? Well, it's true, I don't know much about the country, but I've read a lot about it.
I have my own taste. table there in Vanya's room, and when I'm simply too worn out to go on with my work, I drop everything and rush over here to forget myself in this pastime for an hour or two. Vanya and Sonya work on their accounts, and I sit there at my table and scribble and paint away. It feels warm and peaceful. You can hear the crickets chirp. But I don't indulge in this luxury very often, only about once a month. Now, look here. This is a survey map of our country as it was 50 years ago. The green tints, both light and dark, stand for forests. Half the map, as you can see, is covered with them. Where the green is striped with red, the forests were stocked with elk and wild goats. In this lake, there were great flocks of swans and ducks and wild geese. As the old men say, there was a power of birds of every kind. Now they have vanished like a mist. Beside the various towns and villages you see, I've jotted down here and there the various settlements, farms, hermits' caves, and waterfalls. This country was rich in cattle and horses, as indicated by the expanse of blue. Yeah, you can see how it deepens in this part. There were great herds of them here, an average of 3 horses at every estate. Now, look over here. This is our country as it was 25 years ago. Already only a third of the forest remains, and there are no wild goats left, though some elk remain. The green and blue areas are lighter, and so on and so forth. Now we come to the third map. Our region as it is today. Well, there are still some spots of green, though very few and unconnected. The settlements, farms, hermits' caves, and water mills have gone. The elk, swans, wild birds have likewise vanished. On the whole, this is a history of a gradual deforestation and inevitable environmental collapse that should be complete within the next 10 to 15 years. You may argue that this is the march of progress, that the old order must give way to the new, and I would agree. If roads had been built through these ruined forests, or if factories and schools had taken their place, then the people would have become better educated and healthier and richer. As it is, we have nothing of the kind. We have the same swamps and mosquitoes, same disease and misery, typhoid, diphtheria, fires, and all of this destruction has been brought about by the human race's fierce daily struggle for existence. To save ourselves and our children, we instinctively snatch at anything that can warm us or satisfy our hunger. And so we consume everything within reach without a thought for the future. Almost everything has been destroyed and nothing created to take its place. But I see by your expression that it does not interest you.
I know so little about such things.
There's nothing to know. It simply isn't interesting, that's all.
To be honest, my thoughts were elsewhere. Forgive me. I have to ask you something, but I'm embarrassed. I don't know where to begin.
Ask me something.
Yes. Quite an innocent question. Sit down. It's about a young girl I know. Let's talk honestly and directly as friends, and then just forget all about it, shall we?
All right.
about my stepdaughter, Sonya. Do you like her?
Yes, I respect her.
Do you like her as a woman?
No.
Haven't you realized how she feels about you?
No. What do you mean?
You don't love her, I can see it in your eyes, but she is suffering. You must understand that and not come here anymore.
I'm more than a bit too old for that. Besides, I haven't time. When could I?
Well, this is unpleasant. Well, at least now that's over with and we can forget all about it, but you really must leave here at once. You are sensible. You understand how it is. And I'm actually blushing.
If you had spoken a month or two ago, perhaps I might have considered it, but now? Still, if she is suffering, but I don't understand why it had to be you who asked all the questions. You're a shrewd one.
What do you mean?
Yes, very shrewd. All right, so Sonya is suffering. It's possible, but why were you so eager to find out how I felt about it? Oh, no, please don't give me that surprised look. You know perfectly well why I come here every day. You know exactly why I come and who I'm coming to see. Oh, you sweet little fox, you don't need to look at me like that. I'm an old hand at this.
Fox, I don't understand.
Beautiful little coquette. You need fresh meat. Nothing but hunt you for an entire month. I've tossed aside everything for you, and you love it, don't you? Well, here I am. I'm yours, and you knew it before submitting me to that cross-examination. I yield. I'm yours. Now, sink your claws into me.
You've lost your mind.
You're afraid?
I am a better and stronger woman than you give credit for, I swear to you.
I'll go away today. I won't come around anymore, but first, quickly, tell me, where shall we meet tomorrow? Tell me, before someone comes in, where shall we meet? You are an enchantress, a gloriously beautiful enchantress. Let me kiss your hair, smell its perfume.
I swear to you.
You don't have to swear. You don't need to swear a thing. There is no need for words. Come. You are beautiful. Your hands are so beautiful.
Stop it, you're forgetting yourself.
Tell me. Tell me, where will we meet tomorrow? Don't you see? We must meet. It is inevitable.
Pity, please leave me. No, don't.
Come to me tomorrow in the forest at 2 o'clock. Yes? Yes, will you
No,
come?
let go. Oh, this is horrible.
It's nothing, eh? It's nothing.
Terrific weather we're having, isn't it, Vanya? This morning the sky was overcast and it looked like rain, but now the sun is shining again. A very fine autumn day. And the wheat crop looks unusually promising. But the days are growing short.
You must try. You must do everything in your power to get me and my husband away from here today. Please, do you understand? Today.
Yes, of course, Yelena, I saw everything.
Today. Please.
I've not been feeling well myself, Excellency, for the past 2 days. My throat feels as if it's just going
Where
to...
is everybody? I hate this house. It's like a regular labyrinth. 26 enormous rooms, people always wandering off. You can never find anybody. Please ask Mama and Yelena to come here.
I'm right here.
Please sit down, all of you.
What did he say? I'll tell you later. You're shaking. You're upset. I understand. He said he won't be coming here anymore. Didn't he? Tell me, didn't he?
I can put up with being sick. I mean, one can become reconciled to being an invalid. What I can't stand is the chaotic way of life in the country. I feel as if I've been tossed from the earth and dumped on a strange planet. Please sit down, all of you. Sonya? Sonya? He doesn't hear me. You sit down too, Nanny. I bespeak your indulgence, ladies and gentlemen. Check your ears, if I may put it so, at the hat rack of attention.
Perhaps I'm not needed. May I go?
No, please, you are needed now more than anyone else.
What do you want from me?
Are you, but what are you so angry about? If I've offended you, I ask your forgiveness.
Don't use that tone with me, just get to the point. What do you want?
Here is Maman. Ladies and gentlemen, I shall begin. I have asked you to gather here together, my friends, to inform you that the Inspector General is coming. Just a little joke with great attention. Now, on to serious matters. I have brought you together to ask you for your aid and advice. And as I always have, I shall trust in your kindness. I'm a scholar, a man of letters, unfamiliar with practical matters. I must rely on those with more experience in such matters, such as Vanya, and you, Ilyich, and you, Maman. The truth is, monet omnis una nox. That is to say, our lives lie in the hands of God. And as I am old and ill, I realize the time has come for me to take, to consider my family's welfare. Concern myself with it. Take stock of my financial situation. Well, not for myself, of course. My life is nearly finished. Oh. But I must consider my young wife and my daughter, Sonya. I simply cannot go on living in the country. We were not intended for country life. And yet we cannot afford to live in town on the income derived from the estate. Now, we might sell the forests, but that would be an expedient to which we could not recur every year. We must work out some method of guaranteeing ourselves a certain more or less fixed annual income. Now, with this object in view, a plan has occurred to me, which I now have the honor of proposing to you for your consideration. I shall give you only a rough outline, sparing all detail. Our estate does not yield, on an average, more than 2% on the investment. I propose to sell it. If we then invest our capital in bonds, it will bring us from 4 to 5%, and we should probably have a surplus of several thousand rubles with which we could buy a modest villa in Finland.
Wait a moment, I think I must have misheard you. Would you repeat what you said just now?
I said we would invest the money in bonds and with the surplus buy a villa in Finland.
No, not Finland. You said something else.
Well, I propose to sell the estate.
That's the one. Sell the estate. Splendid. That's brilliant. Then what are your orders concerning my fate, and that of my elderly mother, and of Sonya?
Oh, well, that will be determined in due course. We can't do everything at once.
No, just a goddamn minute. It is clear that up till now I have not had an ounce of sense in my head. Till now, I had been idiot enough to think that this estate belonged to Sonya. My late father bought it as a wedding gift for my sister, and as our laws were made for Russians and not for Turks, I had foolishly imagined that my sister's estate would pass on to her child.
Well, of course it belongs to Sonya. Has anyone denied it? I would never wish to sell it without Sonya's consent. On the contrary, what I'm doing is for Sonya's welfare.
This is absolutely unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Either I'm losing my mind or I'm...
Don't contradict Alexandra. Trust him. He knows better than we do what is right and what is wrong.
Now, get me a glass of water. Go on, say whatever you like.
What I can't understand is what you're so upset about. I don't pretend my plan is ideal. And if you all object, I won't insist.
Well, Excellency, I'm drawn toward learning, and I have a great deal of respect for it, and I'm drawn to your culture also by family ties. My brother Grigory Ilyitch's wife's sister was married to a man you may know. His name is Konstantin Trofimовich Akademov. He was a magistrate.
Oh, please, you talk about that later. No, wait a minute. Ask him what he thinks. This estate was purchased from his uncle. The price was 95,000 rubles. My father paid 70, leaving a mortgage of 25. Now listen! This estate could never have been purchased if I had not renounced my share of the inheritance in favor of my sister, whom I love deeply. And what is more, I worked like a slave for 10 years to pay off the mortgage.
I'm sorry, I am a
The
gross
reason this
matter
estate
of.
is free and clear and running smoothly is because of my hard work. And now that I've gotten old, you propose to throw me out.
I fail to see what you are driving at.
I have managed this estate for 25 years. I have sent you the proceeds of it like a conscientious servant. And in all that time, you have never once said thank you. Not once! And in all that time, you paid me what? You have allowed me the meager annual salary of 500 rubles, a beggar's wages. And it never occurred to you to add even a ruble to it?
Well, what did I understand about such things, Vanya? I'm not a practical man. I don't understand these things. Why didn't you just give yourself a raise?
I should have stolen it, you mean? You must have called me a fool for not having stolen it. I should have. It would only have been fair, and I wouldn't be a beggar now.
John! Sonya, please. You mustn't fight with your own family. You mustn't say such things. You've got me so upset I'm shaking.
For 25 years, I have shut myself up here in the country. Me and this mother of mine. Day and night we go with pride of you and your work. We spoke your name with respect. Our evenings were wasted reading your books and papers on rubbish.
I can't stand it.
What do you want from me?
You were like a higher being to us almost. But now the scales have fallen from my eyes, and I see you for what you really are. You read about art, and you don't know a goddamn thing about it. Those books of yours which I used to admire. Learn where the copper kopeck. You've deceived us all.
Somebody calm me down. I've had enough. I'm leaving.
I will not stop! I haven't finished yet! You have destroyed my life! I never really lived! The best years of my life have been ruined! They've been wasted thanks to you! You are my worst enemy!
I can't stand it.
What do you want from me? What earthly right have you to address me in such a language? You mediocrity! The estate is yours and taken and let me be ruined. I don't care!
I was smart, courageous, strong, and I lived a normal life. I could have been another Schopenhauer or a Dostoevsky. Mom! Oh, I don't know what I'm saying. I must be losing my mind. Mama, I'm in despair. Mama!
Listen to Alexandra.
What should I do? No, don't say anything. I know what I must do. You will not forget me.
Somebody, please tell me what the hell that was all about. And keep that lunatic out of my sight. I can't stay in the same house with him, under the same roof. His room is right next door to mine. He has got to move into the village, or out into the barn, or I shall leave here at once. I cannot remain in the same house with him.
We are leaving here today. We must start packing at once.
That mediocre little man!
You must be kind to us, Papa. You must understand us. Uncle Vanya and I are so unhappy. Have mercy on us. Uncle Vanya has toiled without rest. We never spent a penny on ourselves. We sent it all to you. We earned every mouthful of bread that we ate. Oh, this is coming out all wrong, but you must understand us, Papa. You must take pity on us.
For heaven's sake, Alexander, go and make peace with him.
Very well. I will go talk with him. I'm not blaming him. I'm not angry. You must confess his behavior has been strange, to say the least. Excuse me, I will go find him.
You must be gentle with him. Try to soothe him.
Oh, Daddy.
It's all right, baby. When the geese have cackled, they will be quiet. First they quackle and cackle and then they are silent. Thing all over as if you had a chill. There, little orphan. God is merciful. A little linden tea and it will all pass. See, the geese have all gone now. The devil take them. What now?
Stop him! Stop him! He's gone mad! Where's... Ah, there he is.
Someone just takes you away from your onions.
What am I doing?
Daddy.
Hurry, Nanny, or we'll be called away to say goodbye before you're finished winding.
There isn't very much left to wind.
They're going to Kharkov to live.
About time.
They really got scared, you know. The professor's wife says she's not staying here an hour longer. We're going, she says. We're going right away, and we'll go to Kharkov, and we'll get settled, and then we'll send for our things. Imagine going to Kharkov, not taking their things. It seems fate has agreed they will not stay here, Nanny.
And quite rightly. What a storm they raised. It was a shame.
It's worthy of an old master's painting.
I wish I never laid eyes on them. Soon, things will be as they used to be. Tea at 8, dinner at 1, supper in the evening. Everything in order, just as decent people and Christians like it. I haven't had a decent dish of dumplings in a month.
No, dumplings. Not for ages. I was walking through the village this morning, and a shopkeeper called out to me, yelled at me, called me a freeloader, made me feel just awful.
Don't pay them any mind, little father. We all freeload off God. Besides, you work. You and Sonya, Vanya and me, we're all busy, all the time, all of us. None of us sits idle. Where is Sonya?
She's in the garden. Everyone's with the doctor. They're looking for Vanya. They're afraid he's gonna kill himself.
Where's that revolver?
I hid it in the cellar.
Sinners, the whole lot of them.
Let me alone. Go away. Now go away and leave me myself, can't you? I won't have you watching me this way.
Yes.
Wonk, 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 silly goose.
Go away.
I will, with the greatest pleasure. I should have gone long ago, but I won't leave until you return what you took from me.
I don't have anything of yours.
I'm serious, Vanya. Get it back. I really have to go.
I told you I didn't take anything from you.
Really? All right. I see I shall have to stay a while longer, but then with your permission, I'll have to resort to force. We'll tie you up and search you. I promise you. I mean what I say.
Now do whatever you want. Oh, God. How can I be so stupid? To shoot twice and miss him both times! I'll never forgive myself.
When you feel like shooting somebody, why didn't you just put the gun to your own forehead?
Oh, funny, isn't it? Yeah, I tried to murder somebody, but nobody calls the police. Nobody tries to have me arrested. That means they must think I'm crazy. I'm crazy. What about someone who hides behind the title Professor, the fact that he's a talentless, stupid, sadistic fraud? And what about someone who marries an old man and then betrays him before the eyes of everyone? Are they saying, I saw you kissing her, I saw you in each other's arms?
Yes, sir, you're right. I did kiss her, and you can go to hell.
No. No, the whole world isn't safe because it suffers us all to exist.
That's nonsense.
What do you expect? I'm crazy. I have the right to talk nonsense.
Come on, Vanya. You are not crazy. You're simply a ridiculous fool. I used to think that every fool was out of his senses, but now I see that lack of sense is the normal human state. And you are perfectly normal.
I'm ashamed. If only you knew how ashamed I feel. It feels worse than any pain. I can't stand it. What can I do? What can I do?
Nothing.
You've got to give me something for it. For God's sake, I'm 50 years old. I could live to be 65. That's 15 more years, an eternity. How can I ensure life for 15 more years? What will I do? How will I fill up all that time? Can't you understand how I feel? Don't you see? All I want is a new life. If only I could wake up some bright, quiet morning and feel that my life had begun over, that the past was forgiven and blown away like smoke. Tell me, how do you do that? How do you start over?
Will you listen to yourself? There is no new life. Not for you, not for me. We have no hope of that.
None?
None. I know it.
Tell me what to do. I have such a burning pain here.
Stop it! Just stop it. People who are born a couple of hundred years from now will see how stupidly and blindly we lived our lives. Maybe they will find a way to be happy. But you and me, the only thing we have to look forward to is a little peace and quiet in our graves. Yes, brother, in this whole country, there were only two decent and intelligent men. You and me. But somehow, in this last 10 years or so, miserable life has sucked us under, and we have become as petty and contemptible as the others. However, that's beside the point. Give back what you took from me.
I didn't take anything from you.
You took a bottle of morphine from my medicine case. Listen, if you're determined to kill yourself, go into the woods and shoot yourself there, but give me back the morphine. Otherwise, there will be a lot of talk and people will think I gave it to you. Isn't it bad enough that I'm the one who's going to have to conduct the autopsy? Do you think I'm going to enjoy that?
Leave me alone.
Sonya, your uncle has stolen a bottle of morphine from my medicine case and he won't give it back. Tell him his behavior is, well, it's unwise. I had time. I mustn't be going.
Uncle Vanya, did you take the morphine?
Yes, he took it. I know he did.
Give it back. Why are you frightening us like this? Give it back. I'm just as unhappy as you are, and I haven't given in to despair. I have endured, and you can too. Give it back. You're sweet, Uncle Vanya. You are a good man. Be good to us and give it back.
There. Take it. We must get back to work. We must do something, otherwise I'm...
Yes, we'll get back to work. As soon as everyone leaves, we'll get straight to work. Everything is such a mess.
Now I can be on my way.
Vanya? There you are. We're starting presently. Go and see Alexander. He wants to speak to you.
Come, Uncle Vanya, you must make peace with Papa. You must. Come.
I'm leaving.
So soon?
The carriage is waiting.
Farewell.
You promised me that you would go away today.
I'd forgotten. I'm going now. Was it so terrifying? Did I frighten you?
Yes.
Stay, won't you, tomorrow, in the forest?
No. No, everything is settled. And that is why I can look you in the eyes like this. I just have one request. I should like you not to think too harshly of me. I want you to respect me.
Stay, I beg you. Admit there is nothing for you to do in this world. You have no object in life, nothing to occupy your life. Sooner or later, your feelings will master you. It is inevitable. It's better that it should happen here. Not in Kharkov or in Kursk, but here, in the lap of nature. Here it would be poetic, even beautiful. Here you have the forests and the ruined houses out of a Turgenev story.
You're funny. I'm still very angry with you, but I will always think of you fondly. So why shouldn't I tell you that I am just a little in love with you? So let us shake hands and part friends and bear each other no ill will.
Yes. Go. You probably are a good person, but there's something strange about you, about your entire existence. You come here, you and your husband, and find everyone busy and engaged in active, creative work. And suddenly we are compelled to drop everything and spend the entire summer tending to you and your husband's gout. The pair of you have infected us with your idleness. I've been completely swept from my moorings. I haven't worked in weeks, even though sickness runs its course unchecked among the peasants and they've been using my young forests to graze their cattle. Wherever you go, you and your husband, you carry destruction in your wake. I'm joking, of course. And yet, I'm strangely convinced that if you remained here, I would be completely destroyed. I would never survive, and you would, well, no good would have come to you. So go, quickly. Finita la commedia.
I shall take this pencil. Something to remember me by.
Very strange. You and I have gotten to know each other so well, and now it seems we must part forever. That is the way of the world. But first, while we're alone, before Vanya stumbles in with a bunch of flowers, won't you let me give you just one more kiss to say goodbye? All right? Well, there you are. Very nice.
I wish you every happiness. Why not just once in my life? I must go.
Carriage is waiting, best be on your way.
They're coming.
Shame on him who cannot forgive past offenses. After all that's happened in the past few hours, I feel I could write volumes for the edification of posterity on how we ought to live, really live our lives. I gladly accept your apology, and I offer you mine in return.
We will continue to send you exactly what we have always sent you. Every month, the same amount. Everything will be as it always has been.
I'm not.
Alexandra, please have your picture taken again and send it to me. You know how much you mean to me.
Goodbye, Your Excellency. Don't forget us.
Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you indeed for your most agreeable companionship. I have a deep regard for your opinions and your enthusiasm. But, as an old man, let me give you all a final word of advice on parting. You must all get down to work. Do something useful. Must. I wish you the best of luck.
Goodbye. Forgive me. We'll never see each other again.
Goodbye, dear Vanya.
Waffles, tell them to bring my carriage around too.
Ah, yes, my friend.
You're not going to see them off?
No, I can't go out there. It's too painful. Just let them go. I must busy myself with something at once. To work. To work.
They're gone. I suppose the professor is glad to go. The wild horses couldn't drag him back here again.
They're gone.
They're gone. God be with them. And now, Uncle Vanya, let's get down to work.
To work. To work.
It's been so long since we sat at this table together. No ink. I'm sad now that they're actually gone.
Oh, they're gone.
First, we must take care of these bills that are in such a state, and more have come today. Here, you take these, and I'll take these.
Account with. In account with.
Time for a nap.
How silent it is. The pens scratch, the cricket chirps. So warm and comfortable. I hate to go. Well, my carriage has arrived. All that's left is for me to say goodbye to you, my friends, and then I'm off.
Don't hurry away. Sit with us a little longer.
I mustn't.
Carry forward the old debt in the amount of $275.
Your carriage is waiting, Doctor.
I heard. Here, take these. Don't crush the portfolio.
Yes, sir.
When will you come to see us again?
Well, not before next summer, I would imagine. Or probably not during the winter, at any rate. Of course, if anything should happen, let me know and I will come at once. Thank you, dear girl. Goodbye. And thank you for your kindness, your hospitality, for everything you've done. Goodbye, Nanny.
Are you going without your tea?
I don't care for any Nanny, thank you.
Would you have a little vodka?
I wouldn't mind. gone lame for some reason. I noticed it yesterday when Yefim was watering him.
You should have him reshod.
I shall have to stop at the blacksmith's on my way home. It can't be helped. Oh, it must be hot in Africa right now. Really hot.
Yes, very.
There you are. It's not good for you, dear heart, unless you have a bite of bread with it.
I'm fine. Yeah, thank you. Goodbye, my friends. Nanny, there's no need to see me off.
On the 2nd of February, 20 pounds of butter. On the 16th, 20 pounds of butter once more. Buckwheat flour.
He's gone.
He's gone.
12 of 15, 25.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Oh, Charlotte, I'm so unhappy. Oh, you knew how unhappy I am.
What can we do? We must live out our lives. We shall live, Uncle Vanya. We shall live. We shall live through the endless procession of days ahead of us, and through the long evenings. We shall bear whatever burden fate imposes on us. We shall work without rest for others, now and when we are old. When our final hour comes, we shall meet it humbly. And there beyond the grave, we shall say that we have known suffering and tears, that our lives were bitter. And God will take pity on us, you and me, Uncle. And that's when we'll see a new and better life. We'll be so happy. And we'll look back on all the pain and suffering that we feel now and we'll smile. And then we'll rest. We'll rest. I believe it, Uncle. I believe it with all my heart. We'll rest. We will rest. We'll hear the angels singing. We'll see heaven shining like a jewel. Look back on all the evil and all the pain, and we'll sink into God's sweet mercy that shall enfold the world. And then our lives will be as peaceful and gentle and sweet as a caress. I have faith. I have faith. Poor Uncle Vanya. You're crying. You have never known what it is to be happy. But wait, Uncle Vanya, wait.